NLPs and LLMs. What is the difference? So we start with NLPs. What is a NLP? So natural language processing, or NLP, is basically the means to understand, interpret, and use the human language. By human language, I mean languages like English, Spanish, French, and so on. Super common examples of NLPs: autocorrect on your phone, Google Translate, Alexa understanding your voice when you speak to it, and spam filters for your inbox, for example. Now, one thing I've realized about NLPs is that it is such a wide field of study, not necessarily related to AI or LLMs. What it is a field of study for computers to understand the human language. LLM is a large language model. A large language model is essentially predicting the next word in the sentence given the words before it. So humans are really good at this. For example, if I say to you guys, subscribe to Ben's YouTube, you're going to expect me to say channel afterwards. And most people would assume that's the preceding word in that sentence, given the words before it. When you're watching this video, you're giving context. I'm assuming you've seen loads of people say to you, subscribe to my YouTube channel, with their respective channels. You're watching on YouTube. It's a trained assumption given the context. Now, imagine a world, by the way, where computers are better at predicting the next word than humans are. This, in my opinion, is the death of non-manual jobs. Because if computers can string words better than humans, a lot of informational-based jobs won't be required from humans. Given, by the way, they've got enough data. That might be a scary statement, but in this video I explain why, based on what's called perplexity scores. This leads me on to the differences between NLPs, LLMs, and humans for that matter. Now, I recently watched a talk by Kevin Johnson, and it's on YouTube, his presentation on YouTube, and it's years old now. The link to the video is in the video description. I do reference an analogy that he put forward in his presentation, which makes a lot of sense to explain the differences in terms of the capabilities between these three systems, those three systems being humans, NLPs, and LLMs. These numbers aren't 100% accurate to the capabilities of each of these models, but they're a good example. So if you imagine a sentence that you're trying to predict the next word for, given a list of words within that sentence, a human has a 1 in 12 chance of predicting the next word correctly. Comparatively, given the same sentence, an LLM has a 1 in 20 chance of getting the next word right. And for NLPs, it'll be 110. This was a year old as well, by the way. I really want to premise that because things change quickly in the LLM world. And so obviously humans still are the winners. They can easily predict the next word compared to an NLP. And this isn't specifically for that sentence that I'm using in my video example. It's in general based on different sentences and different list of words. But the point of this video, and the point of this one in particular by Kevin Johnson, accuracy of an LLM compared to human isn't far off. It's getting quite even. And so that is why LLMs are so more popular than any NLP statistical model, for example, that the NLPs have given since then. I've gone over what NLPs and LLMs are. I've gone over the differences between NLPs, LLMs, and obviously we know what humans are in comparative to them too. But what I struggle to understand is the purposes of each. And in this video I'll explain why. Humans, NLPs, and LLMs all serve different purposes, and they're all needed in building AI or large language models. And so I'm going to use another analogy in this video. Have you guys ever seen The Matrix, where humans are essentially batteries fueling these big machines, and everyone lives in a simulated universe? Well, large language models act kind of similar in that in order for them to work or even exist, they need a shit ton of data. The sentence subscribe to Ben's YouTube channel doesn't even exist. Those words don't exist in a large language model if they don't have those words to begin with, if there's no information or patterns to understand the differences between those words. An LLM is only as good as the information you give it. So, luckily for us, humans will always be needed, hopefully anyway. This is why, by the way, you see a lot of notification online, like if you're on Facebook or other social medias. They say that your information might be used to train their large language models. I think Twitter feeds Grok, for example. There was some controversy of Adobe where people were worried that their hard work on those platforms was being used against their will or whatever to train Adobe's LLM. Maybe their hard work might be repurposed in, some sort of copyright breach. Basically, my point is these LLMs need to train their data from something or somewhere. It's caused a lot of controversy online because people don't know how to treat it. Is it a copyright issue? Will they get monetized for the work they actually do? Not to mention, this is why, these big companies are requiring massive amounts of data centers to store this amount of information and the computational power required to process, people using large language models to answer their queries. That was a massive digression. A large language model alone is also not going to understand the context behind Subscribe to Ben's YouTube channel. It can recognize the pattern in how those words are used amongst lots of different people, but a computer does not inherently know what YouTube is, only the patterns in how people use the word YouTube. And that's where NLP comes in. It gives computers tools to handle the meaning, the context, the structure, so that LLMs can make sense of those patterns in how those words are used. To break it down even more, the NLP is the field, LLM is the tool, the human creates the meaning. And my channel is where you should subscribe. Now, if you want to support my channel or you're interested in more content like this, obviously subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow my Patreon where I do a bit of a deeper dive in my videos that I make and behind the scenes. In actual fact, in this one, when I was looking at the differences between NLPs and LLMs, I decided to go back to the foundations of Python and machine learning mathematics to better understand the foundations, to understand if I want to build my own AI assistant, I need to have better grasp the syntax of Python. And yeah, again, I go on about that on my Patreon, and my next video will be about using HackerRank specifically just to understand Python better. But until then, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. Did I make sense? I hope I didn't go on a bit too much of the digressions, but yeah, it's a really interesting topic, and I feel like more people should really know the differences between, these systems, and especially the fact that they're getting really good. Like these LLMs, man, like, a lot of people's jobs will be. Let me know what you think about that. Cheers.